Yeah, but I'm not ballsy enough to say that, but what she said.
Yes, what I said.
Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Live Actually podcast. I'm your host Maria Lopes and I hope you're having a good day. I, for one, am having a great one because I have here with me Miss Monique Hills.
Hi!
I'm so excited. I actually have a real digital creator on my show today.
I'm honored to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, thank you for being here too, because I know you're actually the first guest that I've had on that's had something in common with me. We're both digital creators.
Right.
Well, I know we both hate the term influencer.
Yeah, I don't like that term at all.
So yeah, let's stick with digital creator.
Yeah, digital creator, content creator, yeah. So that is the direction that I'm heavily focused on right now. And yeah, it's just been a fun, wild ride, but I'm here for all of it.
Even since you got here, we've been having such great conversations. So I know it's just to keep it rolling on camera.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like we've had half the show already.
Yeah, I had half a mind to say, let's save some of this for the actual cameras, but it was flowing so good and so naturally, I didn't want to put a pin in it.
We could talk about it again, it's fine.
Yeah, it's like one thing that's kind of been on my mind lately ever since I started this thing, because I have I could probably count 36 subscribers right now.
Okay.
And I still feel like it's so much work, even with that little bit of growth.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how it is for you, like having over, 9,000 followers?
Yeah, well, my Instagram, yeah. I think that regardless of the number of persons that you have, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like, you have to do the work to get the people, and then you have to do the work to maintain the people. You know what I'm saying? So, I would always measure the workload by saying it's a lot, regardless of if you have 36 or if you have 36,000, because you always want to ensure that the quality of work that you produce is good.
Yeah,
Sure. You always want to ensure that what you are doing is satisfactory, not just for the public, but for yourself. When you look back, it's like, okay, I approve this or I like this, because I gave my best, regardless of how many people are seeing it. One person could see it. Or once it's impactful to them and it's impactful to you because you did your best,
Yeah, I'm trying to appreciate this kind of pupa stage where where I have a small number of people, but at least you're reaching those people.
Yeah, you're impacting them. And I think that is what is most important. Like, I always have people that would always say, it's not about being popular, it's about having impact, So I don't ever say, I don't think that I want to be popular, but I want to be impactful. Even if it's one person that I impact with my story, with my journey, whatever it is, like, I want to be impactful. So that's important, yeah.
Yeah, one thing I have kind of been telling myself is to not get consumed by numbers, because even if you have, like, say, 10 subscribers, like, to me, that seems like a small number, or at least it did at first. But if you're gathered in a room with 10 people who not only know who you are, but also like and consume your content, you're probably going to feel pretty overwhelmed.
Yes, invested in you, asking questions about your life, and it is intense. It is a lot, so...
Yeah,
I would definitely say don't be consumed. Don't look at the numbers. I mean, yes, it's nice to see it on paper, to see it on your screen, whatever cases, but that will come. That will come when you continue to be yourself, when you continue to put your best foot forward, when you continue to impact people. That will bring more people to be, to be impacted. So I would say don't have that mindset, I need to get these numbers, because that actually is what keeps you from being authentic and providing authentic content, because you think, okay, I need to do this to please people, to get them to come to me. And I don't think it's worth it. You overwork yourself.
Yeah, I find it so difficult to not be consumed by numbers, though, because, well, like I said, I'm only just started this recently.
Right.
And like I was saying, even before we started rolling, I was never a big social media person.
Right.
I never liked to post for pictures. I never liked posting anything. Anyone that was following my account before would know that I post maybe once a year. Right. But when you start doing this, when you actually start releasing content, that you're actively checking like every 5 minutes to see who's like seen your stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is why people post things.
Yeah, it is overwhelming. For me too, because a little confession, but I am addicted to social media. I am addicted to my phone. It's something that I'm actively trying to break because it does get a little consuming sometimes. Always checking to see how the post is doing, how the engagement is doing. And that's why I'm encouraging you not to get too consumed in the numbers, because when you do, it gets a bit, it creates a bit of anxiety sometimes, especially if a post is not doing well. And you're like, oh, why is this post not doing well? Like, you know, why don't they like it? You know, that kind of train thoughts. Train of thoughts.
Thoughts.
Yeah.
The thought train.
Yeah, the thought train. Yeah. So I'm trying to actively not like post something and I'm like, okay, you do the best. Of course, you have to engage with your followers and with your commenters and stuff like that. But it is very overwhelming. I think I was always a social media person. I have multiple videos of me like always recording myself talking to the camera, even if I've never like posted it, but I would always be like vlogging, like, hey guys, you know, whatever. In school, I remember in school I used to go to school with a camera, like an actual camera, because we didn't have like smartphones and stuff back then. So I would go to school with a camera and I would be making videos at lunch. I would be filming like the entire lunchtime. We would be like on tables singing and having full productions, and I would be there with this camera and stuff. So I feel like it's something that I always liked, but I never really tapped into it. So now like coming and doing this, like one of my friends reminded me of that the other day. She was like, Monique, you always liked doing this. You would always be in school with a camera. And I was like, you know, I don't remember, like it didn't click, and I was like, okay, now it feels like full circle, you know? So yeah.
Yeah, I have a probably much less sane version of that because I didn't have a camera. Because I remember I watched this movie probably last month called The Truman Show, which is about this guy whose entire life since he was a baby was being televised and he didn't know it. And I don't know, even before I saw that movie, I was like, what if I'm secretly being recorded and my entire life is a TV show? So I would just do the intro in my bathroom mirror, like, hey guys, welcome back to the Maria Show.
I love that.
No, because it kind of feels, like I say, less sane looking back on it, because of course you would have had the camera, so like you would have actually had like the kind of semblance of a dream there, but I'm probably the early stages of schizophrenia.
No, I think that your spirit probably knew that this is what you wanted to do, so you were just preparing yourself for it, you know. The
most positive interpretation of those series of events.
No, I think that's good. I think that's what the practicing and the priming up yourself, because you never know. I like that. I find that's cool. I find that's really cool. I'm gonna do that now.
I strive for your optimism. But we're here now, so maybe it was, just like you said. So what would you say are probably the lowlights and the highlights of what it is you do for a living, like being a digital creator?
So one of the lowlights, I would say, and that's what we were talking about earlier, is the consistency, like having to be consistent creatively. So like I would always tell people, working an 8-to-4 job, or a job that is like more data entry or whatever the case is, it's more like, you know, like this is what you have to do. It's repetitive, you know, it might be a lot of work, but it's the same thing that you're doing over and over. However, when you're creative and you have to constantly create things and come up with new ideas and designs and concepts or whatever, it is a lot. It is a lot mentally, and it's very hard to stay consistent if you don't have a plan. If you don't actively plan, okay, this is what is happening, because ideas don't always come. Like sometimes there might be a week where I have ideas for a full week and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing great, and then for the next 2 weeks, nothing. Like my brain is just like, you know. So that is definitely, I would say, a low light, because it could get very demotivating as well, because I'm like, okay, why am I not doing anything? You know, I'm not creating videos. I actually have not posted a TikTok in a very long time, you know, because I'm just overwhelmed with the number of things I have to do, or just feeling demotivated, or not having any ideas and stuff like that, or not having the time to film the ideas, you know. But one of the highlights is definitely, I love people. This has taught me that I really love people. I love interacting with people. I love to make people laugh. I love to make people feel comfortable. I love people to feel like they could be themselves and relate to me. And this process has allowed me to reach people in that way. You know, I would have people message me on social media. Sometimes I wake up to like long essays, especially if I have something I call More Mondays. That's like my more inspirational posts and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and I would have people like send me essays when I wake up in the morning, like, you know, sometimes telling me about their situation, being vulnerable, telling me, you know, how much they felt blessed by the message or impacted. And like, for me, that's such a humbling and amazing feeling, being able to impact people in that way. Or if somebody just sends me a message like, hey, kill the real daughter shadow, like in terms of the funny videos and saying, you know, I'm just like, okay, I added to your day, and I love that. For me, like I love that. I love when people are like, you know, you make me laugh, you know, and I don't know, it's a very surreal feeling. So I would definitely say that's one of the highlights.
Oh yeah, I definitely strive for that feeling too, because even though we did talk about numbers and how you can be consumed by that, I'm sure like even if you get one of those essays, it'll like make your entire month.
Of course. Even if it's one message, or even if it's one comment, I just be like looking at a comment, smiling, like, okay, because I feel so humbled, like, you know, people see me in that light, like see me as adding something to their life, even if it's just a laugh or if it's something inspirational, you know. So
I know you said that getting comments from people would have been a sort of highlight, but do you find yourself getting a lot of hate and stuff like that? So I do get most of my hate or mean comments would be on TikTok, right? Because a lot of my videos, I am very vocal about how I feel about male relationships and romantic relationships in general and stuff like that. So I would say a lot of men come for me, you know, they come for me, you know, they hit me heavy. But I actually don't take it to heart as much, because I know, one, they don't really know me, you know, personally. They just, of course, are responding to something that I may have said on social media. And I mean, I say a lot of things, you know, so I don't really let it affect me. However, there was one comment, this was on my Instagram, where someone attacked my relationship with God. Mm-hmm. They attacked my walk with God under one of my posts. And that's something I haven't really shared with a lot of people. Like, the people who are close to me know, but not the general public. But that really mashed me up. Like, I cried for an entire week. That was the first comment, like mean or hate comments, whatever, that I actually took on, that I actually sat and thought about every day, you know, because I felt like it was so much, like my relationship with God is so personal to me and so important to me, more than any other thing that I see out there, all the funny videos, whatever, like that is real important to me. So if somebody comes for that, like that kind of real, even though I know who I am, it still shook me now, you know. So that was that one specific instance where I really was a wreck for like an entire week. It was really bad. But, you know, I'm grateful that God gave me grace and I'm here now, and I'm like, I look back at the comments and I'm just like, you know what, whatever. People will always say what they want to say and have something to say, so yeah. Yeah, and I feel like when you don't know people, like negative comments, they're really nothing when someone doesn't know anything about you.
Correct.
But I feel like when you get comments, or feedback from people that you do know and people whose opinion you actually do care about, I feel like that does hit me in a certain place.
Yeah, of course, for sure. Like, of course, if, you know, my friends, my leaders, whatever, you know, if they come to correct me and stuff like that, of course, it's like, it stings a bit, but I'm open for growth. And I think that the reason why I think I was so affected by that comment from that person, I didn't even know it was a fake profile, all kind of thing. I'm just like, Monique, why are you even taking on these people? But it's because I know I've come a long way, and I know how open now I am to change and correction. So for this person to kind of speak on my life like that, I'm like, you don't know me, you don't know where I've come from, you don't know what I go through, you don't know, you don't know me. So for you to comment on my relationship with God, and you have no idea about what my relationship with God is like, you know, it was just like the audacity, like you're buying this audacity wholesale, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's a learning experience. I definitely learned from it.
Yeah, I feel like I always start off sentences with "I feel like" because I feel a lot.
You feel a lot, and that's good. That's good. Feeling is good.
That is a good thing. Also a bad thing, but mostly a good thing.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Thank you. So yeah, even when people close to you sort of try to give you constructive criticism, and some of it isn't even criticism. Some of it, I don't know if they're aware of it or not, but some of it does get to me. Like someone really close to me was telling me the other day after I released my first episode, I'm paraphrasing here because, well, yeah, I'm just paraphrasing. They were like, yo, this is kind of cringe, you know? And I was like, wow. I pour my heart and soul into this, and like I know that I have to accept that because people will always have their opinions, but at the same time I realize you can't change for everyone. Yeah. Even if it's someone close to you. Yeah. Like your content isn't ever gonna be for everyone.
For everyone, exactly. And you know what I've realized a lot in this life is that people feel like they always have to comment on something, especially if it's people close to you. They always feel like they need to make a comment, and sometimes people just need to shut up. Like you don't have to say, I'm being honest, like you don't have to say anything. If you don't like it, cool. Don't like it and move on. Like why do you feel the need to tell me? Especially if it's not constructive. Because paraphrasing, saying, yo, this is kind of cringe. Okay, what can I do to not make it cringe? You're not giving me anything. You're not saying, you are just projecting whatever your feeling is. Probably you want to have a podcast and you can't because you cringe, you know. I'm just saying, I'm not coming for your person, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes this is the mindset of people, you know what I'm saying? So you are not constructing me to have a better podcast or any of these things. So why even make that comment in the first place? What was the purpose of it? You know, is it to build me up in love? Is it to show me, you know, you're going to do better? Or is it just to like feel like you have something to say, you know what I mean? So don't even think about that.
Yeah.
That wasn't cringe. No, sorry, I'm joking.
And they're probably gonna see this after. Yeah, but you know, I'm not ballsy enough to say that, but what she said.
Yes, what I said.
Yeah, but anyone else that just wants to be mean,
exactly,
and feels like they just need to say something, I will definitely take that time.
Yes, keep your comments.
I'll clip this for TikTok and then forward it right to them.
Yeah, just send it, exactly, and promote your cringe content. Same way, I'm like, okay, watch this cringe content.
I know that both of us, for our brands, we're kind of all about being authentic and being vulnerable on our social media platforms and being real is what I'm saying. But do you think people get like a strange and kind of scary sense of entitlement to know things?
Oh,
yeah. I've touched a nerve there.
Yeah, you have.